to abs and arms. Unfortunately, Zoom decided not to record this morning's workout, so I'm having to walk you through the exercises now for you to do at home. There's 6 exercises you're going to complete back to back for 30 seconds of work with a 30-second rest. Complete that circuit 3 times, and then there's a little finisher at the end. Okay, you're going to need a pair of dumbbells for today's session. If you haven't got any dumbbells, you could use a kettlebell. Other than for the lateral raises, which is your first exercise. If you haven't got any dumbbells to use, or 2 kettlebells of around about 2-5 kilos or more if you want to. Just fill up some water bottles, some big water jugs, some detergent bottles or something like with a bit of weight, about 2 to 5 kilos for your first exercise, and then you can use your kettlebell for the remaining exercises. You're going to do 1 arm exercise followed by 1 ab exercise. There's 3 back-to-backs in total. So your first exercise is a lateral front raise to an upright row. So keeping the ribs over the hips, glutes nice and tight, dumbbells at your sides. You're going to lift the dumbbells up to the side and lower back down. You're then going to lift them up in front, lower them back down, and then pull them up to your chin and back down. That's 1 rep, okay? When you do this, avoid externally rotating the wrists out. I want you to lift with the elbows, keep the palms facing down, and work slow on the way down. Front, keep the ribs over the hips as you do that, and those glutes nice and tight, because it will make you go forwards and backwards. And then the upright row, keep it close to the body. So side, front, up, that's 1. Side, slow on the way down, front, slow on the way down, up, slow on the way down, that's 2. So do a total of 30 seconds. You'll probably get around about 8-10 repetitions in there. That's what we want for your first exercise. Second exercise, you're going to come down into a sit-up position. So find something to hook under your feet, like so. You're going to tilt back to 45 degrees. Okay, so you're not sitting up, you're not laying down. You're at this 45 degrees where the tension's on the abs. Then, I'll do it from a seated position because it's easier to do than it is to talk and do it at the same time. So before you begin this exercise, practice doing this. Lifting the chest, dropping the chest, okay? So if you see from the side, lift the chest, drop the chest. Lift the chest, drop the chest, lift the chest, drop the chest. That's the movement that you're going to need. You're not going to move out your lumbar spine. You're going to move from your thoracic spine here, from your chest, lifting the chest up and down. And it absolutely lights up these upper abs. So the exercise is a variation of a sit-up, but you're not doing a sit-up. You're just moving the ribs up and then compressing them back down. So you're at your 45-degree angle, hands on your shoulders, lift the ribs up and then bring the ribs down. Lift the ribs up, bring the ribs down. Lift the ribs up, bring the ribs down, okay? So you're just moving from that mid-back, your thoracic spine. You're not moving at the hips. Do you understand? You keep this section at 45 degrees, so the tension's on the abs, and then you're just practicing lifting the ribs and then crunching them back down. You do that for 30 seconds. Very challenging, but it's easy to get wrong if you treat it as a sit-up. It's not. It's a static sit-up as such, but then we're adding that variation of lifting the chest and bringing it back down, okay? And it lights up these abs, okay? Your next arm exercise, back on the dumbbells, or you can hold the horns of the kettlebell. Okay, palms facing up, do a half curl, come back down, then a full curl, come all the way back down. Don't use your back to swing. Keep the ribs over the hips, squeeze the glutes nice and tight. Really put the mind in the muscle so you feel that bicep working. Slow on the way down, push the pit of the elbows forwards as you lower those weights. So that's your third exercise, again 30 on, 30 off. Then we go back to your abs, and this time you're going to complete the full sit-up, but you're not going to come all the way up, because if you come all the way up, the abs are resting, and we don't want to rest, we want to work the muscle. So all the way down, come up to 45, lower yourself back down slowly. 45, lower yourself back down slowly. Allow those ribs to lift as you lay down, and then get a full contraction on the way up. Ribs up and contract. Okay, so don't sit all the way up, otherwise the tension is coming off the abs, and your goal is to keep the tension consistently on the abs throughout the whole exercise, okay? Then your last upper arm exercise, you're going to do your J press, so you lay flat on the floor, dumbbells are pointing up to the ceiling. Keep your elbows pointing at the ceiling, so never lower them down. Keep the elbows up, you roll the dumbbells behind your shoulder, elbows are still putting up, and then you extend back up through. Okay, so you're hitting the backs of the arms, the triceps here. So behind the shoulder, press back through. Okay, so a little roll from the shoulder back, roll and press, but you're always keeping those elbows up. And again, work with the heaviest weight that you've got. If you've got a kettlebell, hold it by the horns, take it overhead each time, okay? Your last exercise is a reverse crunch, so find something overhead to support, okay? And exhale as you bring the knees in. Slowly lower the back onto the floor, keeping the tension in those abs as you lower the hips down. Don't just lift and then drop. Lift and then control your body weight as you return it back to the floor, vertebrae by vertebrae, settling the hips on the floor nice and gently, okay? Exhale, don't just breathe out a little bit, like force the air out so you really light up this diaphragm as you bring the knees in. Slowly lower back down. Again, 30 seconds of work. So those 6 exercises, back to back, 30 seconds of work with a 30-second rest in between. And you're going to complete that, have a minute's rest in between rounds, you're going to complete 3 times. Once you've done this, your ab finisher is 30 seconds of work, so set a timer. 30 seconds of work, 15-second transition and rest into the next exercise. You're going to be working your obliques, okay? So lay side on your mat, lay down on your right shoulder, elbow tucked in, and place your fingertips on the outer side of your torso here on the obliques, okay? With the upper arm, reach overhead, and you're gonna pull the elbow down towards your feet and lift the shoulder, that's the bottom shoulder, off the floor as much as you can. Simultaneously, you're gonna drive the top knee in. So inhale, exhale. Squeeze it for a good second or two. Inhale, stretch back to the floor, exhale. So as you're crunching up, you're trying to get this bottom shoulder off the floor. You can push this elbow into the floor to get yourself up. Crunch this as tight as you can. Drive this knee in and try and get this elbow to the ankle as much as you can. So really squeeze the juice out of it. Like so. You're going to do this for 30 seconds. Big squeeze at the top. Trying to get that elbow to the ankle. Then 15 seconds rest, laying your back. You're going to do a V up, but you're not going to come all the way up. You're just going to come up a few inches off the floor, press the lower back into the ground, and then back down to the floor again. So you're working the last portion of the V up. Okay, exhale every time you lift the feet and lift the shoulders off the floor, bringing the ribs down. Press the lower back down, and every time you lay back down, lift the rib cage again, just like we did in that exercise at the start, lifting the ribs and pressing them down. So every time you lay down, open the ribs up again. So you're getting a real good contraction. With this exercise, there's constant tension on those abs, and that's what we want. We then do your obliques, but on the opposite shoulder, so it'll be left shoulder down this time. Wrap the hand around, place the fingertips on the obliques, legs nice and straight, reach that hand overhead. Deep breath, exhale, try and get that elbow to touch the knee, and extend back out. And then your last exercise of full V-ups, sitting all the way up, control it on the way back down, okay? So those 4 exercises you're gonna do as your finisher, 30 seconds of work, 15 seconds rest, and you're going to complete 3 rounds of that, okay? So 3 back-to-back rounds. So obliques with your right shoulder down, then into your mini V-ups, then your left shoulder down obliques, then your full V-ups, and then do that for a total of 3 rounds, okay? 30 seconds on, 15 seconds rest. That's today's workout, guys. Pause it, replay it, rewind it, and let me know once you've completed it and how you found it. But those abs are going to be feeling pumped after this one.